Welcome back to somebody on Respect and to an edition of Raw Out of 10. Big show today because of course it's the season premiere episode of Monday Night Raw, and as we saw on SmackDown, that's quite dramatic with a lot going on. And Joe, we had lots going on this show too. We had tag titles on the line, and we had a big speech from Sami Zayn to get things going. We had a full count anywhere match between two of the best wrestlers on the roster, but we started things off with Sami Zayn, and he wasted a little time addressing the elephant in the room. Kevin Owens going to SmackDown as he discussed his trepidation and uncertainty about how to feel about Uso at this point. As Judgment Day interrupted the back and forth between and gave his tease to a beatdown before main event Jay saved the day. There was not much to the outside out of the tease between Zayn and Uso tension. There was no hint that the Master Strategist may be involved in the night's main event, but he did express his desire to prove himself as a heavyweight champion competitor, potentially eyeing Seth or Drew after Crown Jewel. So yeah, I'm not going to be against that. And yeah, we know he can do it. The segment could have been hotter, but I think it was mostly solid work. Rollins does set up a big main event, and yeah, still playing off multiple tensions there, which worked nicely. I think we'll see progress in multiple weeks. But moving on to the 4Ks anyway match between Ricochet and Nakamura. And in years past, Nakamura would have lost the World Heavyweight match and fell back into obscurity. But under this regime, he has a contender as dangerous as ever. He is the height of his feud with a visionary. Monday, he defeated Ricochet in a Falls Count Anywhere match. But this features some cool spots, not least of which was jaw-dropping shooting star pressure from Ricochet, who looked like a contender himself as consistently as he has under Triple H. But Nakamura winning was a necessity, keeps him strong at a time when Raw needs quality heels. And yeah, I think that's definitely what he's providing at the moment as well. So yeah, that all makes sense and works rather nicely. On the whole, it gets a 7 out of 10 from me. This was good stuff. And yeah, I like what they're doing, both these competitors. I think, yeah, they're booking them really, really nicely at the moment. Before it's time for Natalya versus Piper Niven on Monday Night Raw. And yeah, she was partnered by Chelsea Green, of course, as she battled Natalya. A competitive back and forth bout concluded with Niven picking up the victory. A post-match attack on the Queen of Hearts brought out Tegan Nox, who made a save for the future Hall of Famer and chased the heels to the floor. It's so refreshing to see even the slightest bit of effort put into the women's title. To be honest, Niven and Green are too talented not to have something. So Natalya is a deserved staple of the programming, and Nox might be the most undervalued competitor on the roster. Bringing them together in matches of this definitely make up for it. And yeah, considering what we've seen with the women's tag team division, it is an improvement. The reaction for Nox's favour was much to do with her recent match with Becky Lynch, and WWE built up on letting fans invest in her. Am I still massively invested in the women's tag titles? No, but I think, you know, that's always going to take time, isn't it, to really build it up. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10 from here. I think it's good starts and solid blocks, but yeah, still want to see more as we continue to build up that belt. Next up on Monday Night Raw, tensions mounted between the heavyweight champion Seth Rollins and number one contender Drew McIntyre, with each man taking personal jabs on the mic. Rollins told Scott to stop blaming everyone but himself for not being world champion. It was a heated promo that continued to plant the seeds for a McIntyre heel turn while providing fans with an emphasis for the feud. Crown Jewel will feature a good match between these two of the best on the planet, and yeah, a heel McIntyre going after Rollins is a much needed freshening up at the top of Raw. Good stuff here, especially from McIntyre. He's portrayed Stephen extremely well, and I think, yeah, what they're doing with him at the moment it's definitely interesting. I think this really is the right view at the moment, and yeah, very excited by it. Before it's time for Johnny Gargano versus Ludwig Kaiser. The battle between Imperium and a reunited DIY continued Monday as it's forced to go alone with Tommaso Ciampa being injured. Battling Kaiser. It was Giovanni Vinci who proved the difference maker, interjecting himself into the match late and setting Kaiser up to score the win. The match continues the idea that Imperium will always triumph as long as Gunther and Ciampa are apart, as DIY can defeat anyone, and we'll likely see that in the near future. It was interesting to see that Kaiser confront Vinci at ringside at one point. Given last week's video package highlighting the former, it appears WWE could be poised to have him as a single star. If that's the case, a split from Vinci would be a necessity, and one on Monday night, he saw it could be underway already. But yeah, I do know. Even despite that, I wouldn't be against it, to be honest, but I'd like to see Imperium stay together. I just think Johnny Gargano losing so soon into his return, yeah, just what's their plan for him? Surely he needs to be winning matches like this. So yeah, unfortunately 5 out of 10. Next up was Shayna Baszler versus Rhea Ripley. And yeah, it's about assessing differences and more about spotlighting the Raw Women's division, which features an array of talent capable of stepping up. Zoe Stark, Nia Jax and Raquel Rodriguez all made their presence felt, with Stark really standing out as a woman who could take out any of her peers and capture gold. It was the latest in a concerted effort by Triple H and the Raw creative team to get superstars on the show as possible and reintroduce them after weeks of inconsistent appearances. Sure, the execution of the booking got a bit messy and they're still debating who has battled supremacy, but it's a step in the right direction after a year of subpar pouring telling for one of the most talented areas of the show. And yeah, a bit of a shame it ended in DQ, but really great match up until that point, and I like how they're all building it up. So yeah, this was good stuff. And I think the Raw Women's division definitely is on an upward spiral, especially with the tension Jade Cargill, Becky Lynch, Jade Cargill, Charlotte. Yeah, I'm so excited to see what's going to happen there. Before it's time for Gunther versus Big Bronson Reed in the IC title match. And yeah, big meaty men slapping meat. The hard-hitting battle concluded with a physically spent champion putting out one last powerbomb and driving his £330 opponent into the mat and scoring a 3 count. The match was every bit the grueling battle that fans hoped it would be, if not more so. Gunther welted on the chest of Reed, and the challenger nearly upset the ring turnaround on more than one occasion. Reed looked great, and Gunther looked to be the best active champion in pro wrestling. The match rocked hard, and yeah, I think there was no real doubt that the belt was going to remain with Gunther, but yeah, still, for what it was decent stuff and gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Enjoyable stuff, and yeah, Gunther and his train just keeps rolling on. Before it's time for the tag team title match, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso taking on the Judgment Day. Jimmy's involvement in the closing changes led to a shock title change with the Judgment Day regaining the belts. The finish followed up on Jimmy's promise to Roman Reigns that he would handle the situation with Jey and Rhodes as champions, which he did, directly influencing their downfall. This is all clearly leading up to the Usos facing off at WrestleMania, but it also keeps Rhodes directly involved with the Bloodline ahead of the supposed rematch with Roman. The Judgment Day are back on track, dominating Raw, while Sami Zayn failing to prevent their ride back to Tower. It'll be interesting to see how things shape up next week. So yeah, it gets a 6 out of 10 for me, just because I wasn't a fan of the title getting taken off, but in storyline's perspective, it does make sense. Great match as well, but I'm going to give it time to see where it goes. But yeah, shock ending to Raw, and overall Raw gets a 6 out from me this week. Yeah, solid enough show. I think yeah, the progress is clear under Triple H's booking, which is solid stuff. But yeah, I mean, like shock title changes, but I'm really intrigued to see where it goes in future weeks. I'm not going to judge it too much. I've kind of felt like it's a building episode, but you know, there are some definitely positive signs. But anyway guys, that's the video. Thanks very much for watching. So like, share, subscribe. Next up's going to be daily wrestling news and sports channels, going to be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.